Welcome again. Myself Prasant Kumar, working as a assistant professor in Government Engineering College Bikaner in the Department of Information Technology. So today we are going to discuss about the array. Arrays means basics of the array. First, one dimensional array I will discuss today. After that, 2D array along with the pointers. Okay, now let's start. So basically what is an array? So first we will go through the definition, then we'll see how initialization of array, declaration of array, accessing the elements of the array, what is the index of the array, many things. Okay, now let's start with the definition. So array is nothing but it is a collection of similar type of data which can be either integer, float, double, or can be any kind of data type like float, double, character, and boolean kind of array also we can take, etc. So all types, all the data types must be same. So data type of all the elements. So the data which we are collecting in collection of similar type of data, the data we are collecting should be of similar data type. For example, we cannot have an array in which some of the data are integer and some are float. Suppose we are taking an array, and in array more than one data type elements we cannot store. So here it is same thing, it is written like integer and float cannot be in the integer and float data cannot be into the same array. So first here using this diagram we will get to know how array looks like. I already explained you in the class. I'm repeating this thing again because some of the people were absent and maybe some do not know the basics. So when we'll go for 2D array and then 2D array and pointers, then it will be difficult for you guys to understand, so that's why I'm repeating it again. So yeah, now come to the point. So yeah, in arrays, in one dimensional array, here I am talking about 1D, means one dimensional array. So here what I am doing, I am declaring a array which is of type integer. Here it is not written, but the meaning of this thing is that only length of the array is 9, first index of the array is 0, and last index of the array is 8. So what is a index? So when we create a array, the size of the array means number of the blocks of the array. Here size means length of the array. So length of the array is 9 and the blocks created in the memory is also 9. So that is the meaning of length. Second point is indices. Indices is nothing but numbers given to each block. So it starts from 0, always starts from 0 in the memory. So the array length is 9 but indices starting from 0. So 0th index, 1th index, 2, 3, 4 up to 8, because we are starting from 0. So indices are from 0 to 9 and last index is 8, first index is 0. So we will be accessing the array elements using, or we will be if I want to enter the value at some box or want to access the value from that box, I will be using these indices only. So whenever we are writing some integer array, float array, this thing is happening. Suppose I am declaring a float array of size 10 boxes means length of the array, then indices will be from 0 to 9. Okay, now again we will be taking examples. You will have the more you will be having the more clarity. Second thing is, now we will talk about the array declaration. I am talking about one dimensional array here. So we'll talk about three scenarios. First one is array declaration by specifying the size. How will declare it? Suppose I want to declare a integer array of size 10. How it will happen? First we are taking data type, then array name, then in brackets I am using the size of the array. That is array declaration by specifying its size. That is the one way to declare a array. So here nothing but we are declaring an integer array of size 10. So size is 10, name of the array is array1 and data type is integer. Another way is, first I am taking a variable n and I am assigning a value 10 to n, and then I am taking is integer array2 n. Array2 is nothing but name of the array. This is the second way of the declaration, which we can say we can declare a array of user defined or user specified size. So here we are specifying the size of the array before its declaration. Means integer n is a variable of integer type which is assigned a value 10, and then we are passing that n as a size of the array in the array declaration part. Second way of declaration is by initializing the elements also along with the declaration. So here how we can do it? So we can do it data type, then array name brackets equals to curly braces, and we can give whatever elements we want to give of same data type, means of integer type. So here we are giving 4 elements 10, 20, 30, 40. So it is nothing but it is same as array of size or length 4. The elements stored at the indices are 10, 20, 30 and 40. And second way of doing the same thing is means declaration and initialization also. We can give array size also here. If we are giving array of 4, 4 here size is also given, 4 is also given, and then 10, 20, 30, 40 is given. So this is also another way of declaration. Third thing is array declaration by specifying size and initializing the elements. So yeah, we have already seen this, but one important point is there. Now let us have a look at it. So here we are doing nothing, same thing, integer array we are giving size, along with that we are giving elements also. We have done this earlier, but here array size 6 and we are giving number of elements as 4. So what will happen, it will initialize, when we are declaring a 6 length array, means 6 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 boxes, and in 4 boxes value is already assigned 10, 20, 30, 40. What about these two? So by default these two will be initialized with 0. So if integer array size is bigger than the elements, then what it will do, it will initialize the rest of the elements with the 0. So that is the point we have to remember here. Now we will understand the array concept. Suppose I have an array, I have declared an array, initialized an array, and now I want to access, or I want to print that array. So how we will access and how we will print that array? So first thing is, okay, we are taking header file, starting with main, taking variable I, because we are using in for loop. Array we are declaring. This is one of the declaration, an initialization, declaration along with the initialization. So here it is nothing but it is same as integer array of 3 and elements assigned to indices. It is same like 3 boxes are created, 2, 3 and 4. This is 0th index, this is 1th index, 2nd index. Okay. Now what I am doing, I am taking a loop from 0 to 3. 0 is less than 3, means for 3 it will not run, it will run for 0, 1 and 2 only. So 3 times loop will run. First time we are checking I equals to 0, I is less than 3, 0 is less than 3, I plus plus, printf %d array of I. Array of I means array of 0. First time I am accessing what I am accessing? I am accessing 0th index. 0th index is this only. So ARR of I, when I am writing ARR of I, here ARR I value is 0 because currently I is 0. So when I am writing here like this, then what basically it means, it will access the value which is stored at the 0th index. So what is the value stored at 0th index is 2. Next time I plus plus, that was it will happen. Now 1 is less than 3, yes, 1 is less than 3, then I plus plus, and then print a percent d ARR of I. I is 1 now, ARR of 1. It is nothing but the meaning of this is the value stored in array at the index 1. So then value stored at index 1 is 3, so it will print 3 in the second iteration of the loop. Now again we are going for, for I plus plus was there, so 2 is less than 3, yes, 2 is less than 3, print a percent d ARR of I, ARR of I. Now ARR of let us erase this. Then ARR of 2, here I is 2, so ARR of 2, okay, I have erased this. So ARR of 2 means the value stored at the second or 2th index is 4 in the array. So what it will print? It will print 4. Again we will check, I plus plus was there, so 3 is less than 3, no, it is correct. We will move out of the loop, and what program will print? It will print 2, 3 and 4. So the output of the program will be 2, 3, 4. Remember one thing here, what is done here? Here we have initialized the array and we have declared the array at the time of the at the compile time. We have done this thing. So at the compile time only all things will be processed. Now we will see about when we are running the program and we want input from the user, and then we are taking input inside the array. So we will talk about runtime. Now we are talking about compile time. Okay. Go to the next slide. Okay, runtime array initialization. Here we have talked earlier. We have talked about the compile time array initialization. So things were happening at compile time when we were talking about array initialization. Now things will happen at runtime. So in this example, we'll see. Okay, main, we are taking an array of size 4. Here we have taken a array of size 4, but we have not declared. We have not initialized our array with the elements at the particular indices. Now second statement, but it's written here, integer ij. Okay, we are taking two variable, printf. Okay, enter array element. So we are giving a instruction that will print on the screen that enter array element. Now what we are doing, we are running a loop from 0 to less than 4. So it will not run for 4, it will run for 0, 1, 2, 3. So 4 times loop will run. So inside loop, what I am doing scanf %d address of ARR of I. So 2 points we have to remember here. Scanf, you already know, we are using here for input from the user side, and %d meaning his like integer value we are we want to take as input. So here address of ARR of I. What is the meaning of this thing? The meaning of this thing is the value which we will enter when program is asking for the input. When the value we will enter, where that value will go? The value will go in the array, and we basically where we are storing this value at the address of array ith index, at the address of array ith index. So suppose I am entering here, suppose for first time suppose loop is running, array of 0 and 0 is less than 4, I plus plus scanf %d address of ARR of 0. So first time address of ARR of 0. So first value which I will enter in the PC screen, or my first input will be stored at 0th index, because 0th index in the array, because I am here giving the address of the array 0th index. So the first input will be stored at the 0th index of the array. Okay, now have a look at the complete scenario. So here 4 size box I have already, okay, 0 1 2 3 up to 3, because indices are starting from 0, so 0 1 2 3. So first time I am entering, so what is happening here, array of address of array of 0, then what is suppose I am entering 2, so what will happen, 2 will be going there. Again for the loop I plus plus, 1 is less than 4, yes, I plus plus %d address of array of 1. Array of 1 means here what it will do, it will store whatever value I am entering second time, or second value I am entering here will be stored at the array of 1th index. Array 1th index. So array 1th index means here. So suppose I am here entering the value 3. So again same for 2. Suppose I am entering 4. Again for 3 I am entering 5. So that input is 2 3 4 5 is the input we are taking from user. So it can be anything, it can be 10 12 15, whatever you want to enter. So main thing is here what it will do. So what that thing will do, address of ARR of I, what it will do, it will update the array index with the user entered value. Particular index means when address of array of 0, input, first input will be entered, then array of address of array of 1, second input, likewise same. Okay, now in the second step what we are doing, we have entered the values in the array, and now I want to access the values inside the array. 2 3 4 5, it was 2 3 4 5, right? Now I in the second loop what I am doing here, I want to access the values. So what I am doing, I am running a loop from 0 to 4, and what I am doing, I am printing the value of AR of j. We have done it in the previous slide. So what it will do now, one more point. So here we have taken input from user, but in earlier program what we have done, we have already declared and initialized with some value. Here we have taken the value, so that's why I am saying this thing as runtime array initialization. So array is initialized at the runtime. Okay, now come to the point. So this we were talking about this for loop. So what this for loop will do, 0 to 3 it will run, and it will print array the value of the value which are stored at the particular array indices. So for first time 0 %d ARR of 0, the value stored at 0th index is 2. I plus plus 1 is less than 4, %d array of 1 means value stored at 1th index is 3. Likewise same, I plus plus will be moving on up to 3, will be printing the complete array. Yeah. Now I want to explain you one more thing also. Suppose someone is saying you that we have an array which is having a lower bound starting with 0, or having some lower bound and having some upper bound, and the base address of that array is, I mean, first element address, or let us discuss this thing also. So when we are declaring a integer array of 3, what is happening here, what is happening inside the memory, the things are happening like this. I have already explained you in the pointer lectures. So this is the meaning of this thing is nothing but this declaration. So when we are declaring integer ARR of 3, it will create 3 boxes in the memory, and the base address of that array will be held by ARR. So this will be holding the base address. So base address is nothing but starting of the array. So I think now it is clear about base address. Base address is nothing which is the starting of the array and held by the array name, or address of the first element inside the array, or base address held by the array. Here suppose I am taking ARR 0 to 15, so address of the base indices or base address of the array is held by ARR. So there will be pointer to array base address ARR. Yeah. So come to the point, come to the numerical. So here suppose I am given an array 0 to 15 size, base address is also given 100. Find the address of ARR 5. So I want to find the address of ARR 5 directly. So how I will find it? How I will found it? So here we have a formula which is designed. I will explain why we are writing this formula. Suppose I want to find address of ARR of I. I can be any indices. Here we are taking here we have to find for fifth. So for any ith value, if you want to find, first of all what we will do, base address plus I minus lower bound. What is lower bound? Lower bound is nothing. When I am saying I am declaring an array ARR of 0 to 15. So lower bound is here 0 and upper bound is here 15. So come to the formula, base address plus I minus lower bound multiplied by size of data type. So here I am taking given an integer type array. So integer type array means it will be storing the integer value. So data type size is 2 byte. Integer because type of the integer type data type size is 2 byte. Yeah. For integer it is 2, for float it is 4. So So how will calculate this? So here things are already given. So we want to calculate address of 5. So base address is 100 plus I is here we want to calculate for fifth. So 5 minus 0 multiply by 2. So 110. So what is saying? Saying array of 5 means from 0 I am starting and up to it will go up to 15. So 1th index, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Base address is 100 means for that block base address is 100. So for that it will be 102, 104 and for next one it will be 106, 108, right, for 4, and for fifth is 10. So manually also we have checked, but by using formula manually we have checked that 110 array of fifth is available. I mean array of 5 will start at 110. So we have done it, we have checked it manually also, but using formula also we can directly check where what is the address of that particular ARR of ith index. Okay. So here I am taking here I minus lower bound. So we'll say, sir, directly we can say why we are reducing I minus lower bound. So I am reducing, suppose here array is not starting from 0. So array, suppose someone is giving array of fifth is the lower bound and 15 is the upper bound. So here I have to reduce, because of this thing I am here giving lower bound. If it is 0, so no need to give that I minus lower bound thing. So base address plus I into size of data type. But here if lower bound is if it's array is starting from 1, array is starting from some other value, so this is the universal formula for. Okay. Now I want to discuss some of the important things. Suppose, take one scenario. Suppose here we are having an integer array of size 5, we can say. Now I want to modify value. Suppose I am assigning 0th index to 0th index a value 5, and I am assigning now 3 by 2 equals to 2. What it will do? 3 by 2 means 1.5. So where it will assign the value? It will assign value at the array of 1 only. Do not think like 1.5 or something, it will go for 2 or 1.5, something like this. So it will assign the value at 1 only. So 1th index only. So this is one of the point. And now let us talk about the advantage. Some of the advantage. So in arrays we can easily easily we can store multiple data at a time. If I want to store 50 integers, then easily I can store 50 variables at a time using array by declaring simple by using a simple line. Otherwise we have to use 50 variables to declare 50 integer or 50 some data type variables. Okay, second point is random access of element using array index. Suppose I am taking array of size 100 and I want to access 90th index of that array. I want to access the value of the 90th index. So directly I can type ARR of 90, we can access that value. And searching is easy. We can easily, by using base address, or we can use a single loop and we can traverse the complete array. Inside single loop I is equal to 0 to 100, we can traverse an array of size 100. Yeah. And now, so it is a simple process. It provides the simplicity instead of variables. And the disadvantage is it allows a fixed number of elements to be entered, which is decided at the time of the declaration. So when we are declaring the array, so where I am giving the size. Suppose I am saying integer array of 10. So it is limiting the values. It is limiting the array sizes to 10. So allow the fixed number of elements. So and the second point is insertion and deletion part. Suppose I want to delete some elements and I want to insert some element. So insertion and deletion part will be costly. Suppose I am inserting an element inside the array. Okay, it will cover sorting concept also. In sorting, suppose my array is sorted. So 10 elements, they are all sorted in the increasing order. Suppose I want to enter some value in between. So maybe we want some kind of shifting left side, right side to insert a element at the proper place. And in case of deletion also, suppose I am deleting some element, then we have to shift array elements accordingly. So that thing can be costly. So yeah, it is related to sorting. So okay, if you don't understand also, then it is also okay. So yeah, that's it for today. And the references I have used for this is Dennis Ritchie and Geeks for Geeks. And yeah, one more thing, I hope you all guys are safe and doing well. And I am assuming that you are taking all the precautions. So stay safe, take all the precautions, do not go outside, stay at home, stay safe. Yeah, thank you so much.